Gordon McAllister.
Simon
Good
McLean.
session this morning.
Excellent.
This is a news item we're doing just now, so it's short, sharp and sweet.
Okay.
For this week's news programme. You scored 2 goals today.
I did indeed.
That's got to be big news. That's the top of the news item. Can you talk us through it?
Yes.
Right, that's enough. Thanks very much for that. It was great to watch, and I was refereeing, of course, which helps.
It did help enormously.
There was no way you were getting a hat-trick under any circumstances.
Absolutely not.
Gordon, good session this morning. What I want to speak to you about is a session that we tried last Tuesday, when we had a hybrid game of walking football without the walking. Can you talk us through that, what the purpose of it was and what the rules were?
Yes, it was just an idea about a different format, perhaps aimed mostly at the guys over 50s, that I sense a bit of frustration when they're having to adhere to the Walking Football Scotland rules when they're in competitions, get picked up for running when they don't feel they're running. So, broadly speaking, this was no connection whatsoever with Walking Football or with Walking Football Scotland, but it was to allow the guys over 50 mainly to play a game of football with all the normal Walking Football Scotland rules, with one minor technical difference, is they could run all they liked. And it was a bit more organised. It wasn't just turn up and play in various teams. It was 4 teams, 2 teams from Pollock, a team from Giffnock Soccer Centre and a team from St Anthony's. And we had 1 or 2 slight differences, variations. There was a sin bin, and there was one player was actually sin bin, I think, for arguing amongst with his own players.
Dissent.
And dissent, because again we've noticed that referees do get an awful lot of abuse, dissent, effectively. In a 15-minute game, it mops up an awful lot of the time if people are squabbling over whether it was a corner or a free kick or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was to try and, of course, the 2 referees.
Do you think the sin bin's got a future? Walking football? I should say that you're a patron of Walking Football Scotland, treasurer, in fact.
I'm a trustee. That is my role as treasurer, to look after the finances of Walking Football Scotland. But I also help out, as do all the trustees, when there's competitions involved, because some days we're running competitions for up to 100, 150 people at 3 different locations in Scotland. So that's about 500 people. We include fans, coaches, people who just come along to watch, effectively, that wouldn't be taking part in any form of organised football anywhere in Scotland. What
would you say to the purists of walking football, which I consider myself one, that walking football is designed for the Chris Butts of the world who've got bad hips and maybe not quite as mobile as they used to be, trying to come back from an operation or an injury or whatever.
Yep.
And people that can run about should go and play normal football rather than mix with walking football.
There's an argument you can do both, provided you adhere to the rules, because some of the what I would call mixed sessions, effectively people of different age groups. Like today, if you allow unlimited touches, if you allow running effectively, then you'll find that players who play more regularly will dominate the games effectively. Others may not get a chance to participate effectively. And there are no formal training sessions. Had a conversation with someone who's just started playing football again, and she feels that she's not really getting an opportunity to get any better because the sessions are all geared around actual competitive play. So there's maybe room for Walking Football Scotland, Glasgow Life, Pollock United to develop specific sessions to allow someone to actually develop and improve their game. And if they play walking football and find out that that's actually too slow pace for them, they want to play football, then there's a hybrid version. And there are also actually still, as far as I'm aware.
So you think we could do a session with some drills, some passing drills, some shooting drills?
Absolutely.
And talk about what the essence of walking football, because it's a totally different game, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. It's a slower version of the beautiful game, effectively. That's the definition.
And are you going to continue with this experiment then, with this hybrid version, the running version of walking football?
If there's a demand for it, yes, I would like to keep that going if we can. But it's down to the participants that want to do it. A lot of people are feeling that maybe did feel it very tiring the day after, effectively, because you're running for up to 60 minutes that you wouldn't normally be doing.
Will you come back to talking walking football and tell us how it's going?
Absolutely.
Keep us up to speed.
I will keep in touch.
Yep, and you might get that hat trick eventually.
One day.
Some people find that if they come often enough, they eventually get to the 3 goal mark.
I think that's
might not be this year.
And maybe the first goals that I've scored this calendar year.
Century.
There you go.
Good, Gordon.
Thank you.
Pleasure, as always.
Thanks,
Thank you.